I'm going to defer to Senator Hickenlooper. I know he has a second round.
Great. Let me get back to my question there. I got distracted for just that moment. That's always the case. You guys have been talking a lot about supply chain, and I think that that's at the essence of all these things. Again, I want to go back to Mr. Summers. The National Critical Minerals Council Act to ensure that we are, coordinating minerals policy at the highest level of government. Can you kind of elaborate on why it's essential to elevate critical minerals to the highest levels of the White House, obviously, but also to the agency, and how a national council or a minerals advisor could enhance that?
Absolutely, and I'd like to echo what Mr. Haddock said. I think that more centralization in the federal government would be very beneficial in whatever form that takes, a Bureau of Mines or a National Critical Minerals Council or a Minerals Czar. I'm not sure exactly what that should look like in specific, but I think that ensuring that the federal government is working together, and you have the Department of Energy and Department of Interior, the Department of Defense, and the trade representative and others. I mean, all the different parts of government that need to be involved in these discussions, so that we are again maximizing our opportunities to be self-sufficient with our critical mineral supply chain, and also dealing with trade issues and other and other issues that can affect investment here in the U.S. is absolutely essential.
Right, I appreciate that more than you can imagine. I think collaboration and coordination is going to be in high demand. Mr. Wooden, this just again, as someone who also loves trout. And like many of your members, I enjoy taking the trout out of the water, but also putting them back.
Yes, that's good.
That's good. We have I think we have some of the largest trout, I think, in the country. People don't recognize that yet.
Yes, you do.
What actions can Congress take to reduce the impacts of some of these new mining projects? What have we not talked about yet, where we could get better value in protecting?
I think we've talked about several topics already that would reduce impact. I will say that modern mining is a lot different than historic mining practices. These are well-regulated industries. Most of them are well-capitalized. I do think that the two biggest problems with the mining law, I don't think are that unfixable. One is, as I mentioned earlier, creating a dedicated funding source or royalty. And the second issue would be making clear that there is discretion for denying a mine permit early in the process.
Right, I agree. Perfect, thank you. Appreciate that. Obviously, that's a discussion that could go on for some hours. I'll finish up, Mr. Haddock. We've talked about a better path forward for mining in this country by simpler permitting processes, faster responses, but making sure that we have the highest environmental standards. I guess I could say actually to all witnesses, we've talked, you've already covered a number of the permitting bottlenecks that mining companies face on projects. But as we resume on this committee bipartisan discussions at solutions, what would you think? Each can suggest one. What should be our highest priority?
I'll start pass the Mineral Regulatory Clarity Act.
Okay, that's fair. Mr. Summers?
Again, I think that there's been a lot of discussion about permitting reform, and that's absolutely critical, and also litigation reform.
There you go.
And I would say, again, funding to clean up abandoned mines and allowing some more discretion in the process for areas where you shouldn't mine.
Right, absolutely. Well, the ranking member described the $56 billion backlog, $54 billion backlog, and yet the $1 billion a year that you mentioned really is almost just taking care of what's happening, day to day with existing mining, as small as it is. But anyway, somehow that's got to come together as well, and as we get ultimate solutions. Anyway, thank you all. I appreciate your work and look forward to working with you going forward. I yield back.